Hey guys, Katie here, and today I am doing the professional tag. I was tagged by Jen at Today in Jen's Library, who, as I have repeatedly said, is one of the most wonderful people in the world. She is fantastic, and she did a tag week. She did 7 tags, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So the professional tag is kind of like books corresponding to different professions, and it's pretty straightforward, so let's just get started. Number 1 is Doctor, a book that consoles you or helps you. Man, I've talked about this book so much, but I mean, you can see why. If you see how much I've read this book, you know. It's The Buried Pyramid by Jane Lynn Skold, which is really cool. And I think I'm gonna make this for 1 and 2, because I actually don't think that I picked up a book for number 2. Number 2 is Chef, a book that has a lot of ingredients, a bit of everything. And here's why I picked this for that. Because it's like a fantasy, mystery, adventure book, which is a couple of different things. And it takes place in England, and it takes place in Egypt, and it's just like all over the world, and America. There's a little bit of America in this book. It's been a long time since I've read it. I've talked about this so much, I don't think I've convinced anyone to read it yet though. This is just a good old-fashioned fantasy, highly recommended. Number 3 is Barista, a book that gets you pumped. And I was a little confused about this prompt. I don't really have books that get me pumped. So I picked Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer because so much love I have for this book, I can't even tell you. And I still haven't read his other books, but I'm going to. And I guess I could say this book gets me pumped because I was really excited about it. I just loved everything about it, and it's one of those books that I feel like I can't recommend enough. This book gets me pumped, sort of, but not like coffee at all. Nothing like coffee. Number 4 is Student, a signed reading that you actually liked. I picked Tender as the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This was kind of like my original favorite classic, and I am set to reread it pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited. It's been a long time. I know a lot of people like The Great Gatsby, but I kind of had a growing and learning experience with this book where I kind of read it and didn't get it, and then I had to kind of read it again. And this was all when I was pretty young, so I don't really blame myself, but it's a good one. And I really don't think that you can beat anything by Fitzgerald, really. Number 5 is Lawyer, and this is a book everyone else loves but you didn't like or thought it was okay and need to defend your answer. Okay, bear with me. Gone Girl. Don't hate me. Here's why, okay? Because I'm not doing a review on this. I changed my mind because I think everyone would hate me too much. I was really looking forward to this, and I was kind of having fun with it at first. And I still think there's a lot of good stuff in here. After I talked to Steven at Steve Reads Books, I kind of saw a different depth to the book that I think added some value to it. But I was pissed off the whole time. I was pissed off at Nick, and then I was pissed off at Amy, and I didn't like Margot. Like, none of these characters are likable in any way, and I really struggle with that sometimes. Now, I pushed through it, and like I said, it was a new experience for me. It was kind of fun, but I still walked away feeling kind of meh. Like, I think 3 stars is what I feel about this. Even though I saw the twist coming, I liked it. I'll just say that. I appreciated the twist, and I genuinely think that Amy is incredible. No matter what. No matter what. Don't hate me. Number 6 is Actor, a book with a well-rounded protagonist, and I picked Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. This book really blew me away, and I thought that Agnes was an incredible character, and I loved the kind of chance to watch her kind of unfold, because you don't get the story at the beginning. I don't think you know her until the end, but she's still a great round character, and I really appreciate her and this book, and it's wonderful. And if you haven't read it, you should. It's really good. Good historical fiction for you. 7 is Retail, a book that you just had to have, and I picked the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition of Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. When I saw this, I knew I had to have it. Now, this is mostly just a cover issue. You know, I like the cover, of course. But also, I've read Sense and Sensibility a lot. I feel like I've never given it a chance, so I'm hoping that having this pretty edition, I might reread it and really get something out of it. I don't know. Number 8 is artist favorite book cover, and I picked Phillida by Andre Brink. Ooh, this is a Man Booker finalist, I think from 2013, and it's just a beautiful cover. And the back is pretty. This is a vintage. It's really nice, and you can see why I bought it probably just by that. There are more books than I thought there were. I don't have books picked out. I didn't get enough books. What? I didn't get enough books. There are 4 more. Number 9 is Editor, a book you found yourself criticizing more than enjoying. That was clearly Two Serious Ladies by Jane Bowles. I've talked about this a lot, but it was really hard to read and I didn't appreciate it much, and I didn't find anything that I thought was redeemable about it, and I just didn't like it. But that's me. Number 10 is Carpenter, a well-written, well-structured book. I picked Ready Player One by Ernest Cline because it was just a great book overall. It was well written. I felt like it had the right pace. I felt like it was well structured. Just in general, an awesome book and worthy of rereading, which I plan to do eventually. Number 11 is Veterinarian, a book that features an animal somewhat prominently. I picked We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler because it's essentially about animals. Essentially. I don't want to say too much more about this. I did a review of this. I will link it below if you want to check it out. Otherwise, I do recommend it. Number 12 is Scientist, a book that features advanced technology. I'm just gonna pick Ancillary Justice, but I haven't read it yet. This is by Ann Leckie. Word around the booktubes is that this is a good one, so I should read it this month maybe. 13 is Teacher, a book that takes place at a boarding school, and you will be surprised to know that I have no books that take place at boarding schools except for like Harry Potter, and I just feel like that's too easy. But I looked and I couldn't find one except for Harry Potter, and I think I own the digital copy of Looking for Alaska, but meh, don't care, don't want to talk about it. So yeah, that was the professional tag, and it was interesting and I wasn't prepared. I apologize. I'll probably tag people, maybe a few down below, so check it out. You know, it was fun, so if you want to do it, you should do it, and I think that's it. So, gosh, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!